Hello everybody, it's Beatle Dave again from Derbyshire in the UK. Remember, Beatle Dave, the channel where we talk about everything to do with the Beatles and record collecting in general. Today we're going to be looking at Ringo Starr's 1970 LP, Sentimental Journey. When this album came out, although it charted and things, it was considered a little bit of a flop, to be honest, and it's a shame because it is actually a really good album. It was produced by George Martin. It's also on Apple, and the catalogue number is, bear with me 1 second, I know it's PCS, I think. It's PCS 7101, and like I say, it was released on Apple Records. It was released, if I remember rightly, this was released, then McCartney was released, and then Let It Be was released. So it made it look like this was Ringo's like quick-fire attempt to start a solo career, but actually it wasn't. You know, he had been recording this album since late 1969. Like I say, George Martin did produce it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 songs on it. Like I say, it was produced by George Martin. It was engineered by Philip MacDonald, and the photos are by Richard Pollock. This cover here, this pub, was actually where Ringo Starr used to go drinking with his family in the late 1950s and very early 1960s. And where this van is here, this lorry, the street down there is actually where Ringo used to live, apparently. I've been past this, never been in it, but I've been past it when I've been to Liverpool and stuff. So the track listing is side 1, you've got Sentimental Journey. I'm going to a sentimental journey. And that is actually arranged by Richard Perry. Well, obviously went on to work with Richard Perry into later on in his career. Then you've got Night and Day, which was arranged by Chico O'Farrell. I think that's right. Whispering Grass, can you remember that one? Whispering grass, don't tell the trees, 'cause the trees don't need to know. That was arranged by Ron Goodwin. Bye Bye Blackbird. Bye Bye Blackbird. That was arranged by Maurice Gibb. Yes, Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees. Then you've got I'm a Fool to Care. Just bear with 1 second. It's like my laptop's decided to switch itself off, so my light's gone off. Yeah, Am I a Fool to Care? That was arranged by Klaus Vorman. We all know who Klaus is, don't we? Bear with 1 sec. Don't know what it is. Everything just seems to be going wrong just lately. That's better. Then you've got Stardust, and that was actually arranged by Paul McCartney. Side 2, Blue Turning Grey Over You, Blue Turning Grey Over You. That was arranged by Oliver Nelson. Love is a many splendid thing. That was arranged by Quincy Jones. Yeah, Quincy Jones, who went on to produce Michael Jackson. Then you got Dream. That's arranged by George Martin. You Always Hurt the Ones You Love. You'll always hurt the ones you love. Dooby-dooby-dooby-doo, something like that, isn't it? That was arranged by John Dankworth. Have I Told You Lately That I Love You? Have I told you lately that I love you? Yes, Rod Stewart did have a version of that, didn't he? That is arranged by Elmer Bernstein. And then Let the Rest of the World Go By. That's arranged by Les Reed. Now, this is what you would nowadays call an album of standards, isn't it? But at the time, because like Ringo was in the Beatles, and the Beatles was always pushing, you know, for new musical direction, this seemed like a bit of a backward step for him. Which in some ways it was, don't get me wrong. But nowadays, you know, there's a lot of artists and stars that have done records like this. I mean, Rod Stewart's done about 3 of them, hasn't he? David Bowie did Pin-Ups, didn't he? That was like an album just of covers. Robbie Williams has done, like, was it Swing When You're Winning? John Lennon, of course, did his rock and roll album, didn't he? So, you know, it isn't really as out of step as it seems. It was just like this was one of the main one, you know, first main ones to come out from a pop pop stroke rock star, wasn't it? Obviously, you know, albums by Frank Sinatra and stuff was always like a bit like this, weren't they? The music on here is basically from the 1930s and the 1940s. Like I say, it is songs that Ringo grew up with. They used to go in here, him and his family, well, him and his mum and his stepdad. And, you know, once they'd had a drink in those days, you didn't get like jukeboxes or anything. It was usually somebody on a piano or something. So they always should get behind the piano and sing songs. And apparently if they've had a family party, most of these songs, members of his family would actually sing. That's why he did it. He actually made it like for his family. All in all, it is a very, very good album. Like I say, the Empress Pub is still there. And I think it is called the Empress Pub again now. Obviously, this Sentimental Journey and this Ringo Starr thing isn't on it. That's been superimposed. But he has actually got pictures of his family superimposed onto the windows, if you look. And obviously that is Ringo there, which I think is a cardboard cutout by the looks of it. So it's that street. I think it's that street there that Ringo used to live on. It's not that one. I think it's that one, if I remember rightly. And then on the back, that's the back cover. All in all, a really, really nice album. The songs actually suit Ringo's voice as well, which is nice. Now, this being an original first UK pressing, it does come in the all-important Apple in a sleeve. These on their own are very, very rare to get now. Important notice, copyright exists on all Apple recordings. A little bit dusty. I've actually got 3 copies of this, but I thought the waste time showing you all 3 because they're all exactly the same. They're all UK first pressings. YEX. Let's have a look. YEX 7771 1U, which actually means it was actually pressed by Apple and not by EMI, although it does say EMI recording on it. And then side 2 is YEX 772/1U. So it is a first pressing. That's the label for the A side. And that is the label for the B side, or side 2. I've had to actually, for this one, this is a little bit of an experiment because I'm actually doing this on my phone again now, because for some reason on my computer, when you try and do an Apple record or anything that's white or very, very light, the labels look blank, but I think you can see them okay, can't you? So yeah, at the time, I think it was sort of like a bit of a hit in the UK, this album. No, I don't think it got into the top 10 album charts, but I do think it actually charted. But in America, I think they went out in the droves, didn't they, and bought it, and they didn't like it, because I think they was expecting it to be something like the Beatles, and obviously you couldn't get any further away from the Beatles with this album if you tried, could you really? No disrespect to Ringo, like I say, it is a really, really good album. The musicianship on it and everything is brilliant. Ringo singing, like I said, suits all these songs perfectly. You know, some of the later albums he went on to record after this. You know, sometimes he struggles a bit singing some of the songs, doesn't he? But on this, you know, this is a perfect album for Ringo. And I think he should actually think about doing a volume 2. Now he's got older, and his voice has got a little bit more mature, shall we say, to be polite. I think he could do a volume 2 or another album, you know, of this, doing the same sort of song standards and things like that. And I think it would actually sound really, really good. I was watching Ringo, I think it was yesterday on YouTube channel, and he's actually done a version of Rock Around the Clock, hasn't he? Like I say, you wouldn't really think Ringo would sing that song, would you? But like I say, because he's got older and the instrumentation around the song has actually made it so that it suits his voice, which again is what happened on this LP. It's not worth a great deal. I think you can pick a battered up copy of this off Fleabay for around the £5 mark. This you know, is a genuine UK first pressing, as are the other two that I've got. I would say these are worth roughly between £25–35 mark. At a push, you might get £50 for them. You know, I did actually have a American copy of it, but I don't know where it is. Yeah, so I do like this album. I think if Ringo ever gets the time, he should consider doing a volume 2 or an updated version of this. You know, just singing old songs that he grew up with. You know, I mean, it's not as daft as it sounds, really, is it? When you think of some of the songs that the Beatles did record in their recording career. I mean, what was one of the first songs that they ever recorded was My Bonnie. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Okay, they didn't sing it, but they were the backup band, weren't they? And I think Paul and John did the backing vocals, didn't they? And then you've got like Till There Was You and things like that. So, you know, if these was like Ringo's songs on early LPs, Beatles LPs, they probably wouldn't have sounded out of place on some of them, would they? Well, they probably would. But Sentimental Journey, I always think, you know, his version of that is brilliant. Night and Day's good. Whispering Grass, well, you know, it was only, you know, about 4, maybe 5 years after this LP came out that actually got to #1, wasn't it? Whispering Grass in the UK, with Windsor Davis, wasn't it, out of It Ain't Half Hot Mum, and the little chap was Don Estelle. I mean, that got to #1, you know. As we've said before, you know, Rod Stewart had a hit with Have I Told You Lately That I Love You, didn't he? You know, years later. Love Is a Many Splendid Thing. I mean, that's been a hit for lots of people, hasn't it? You know, so all in all, a lovely little album. See? Video time. Dog barking. Man, somebody else just knocked at the door. So, you know, I can't really blame him because he's doing his job. But yeah, you know, all in all, a lovely little album. If you ever get the chance to buy it and it is in good nick, you know, just check that it is in really, really nice condition, which most of them are, because I don't think, you know, I think once people have played this like, you know, half a dozen times, a lot of people wouldn't bother playing it again. I do play it quite regular. My missus loves it because my missus's grandma or nana was actually a Londoner, so she loves that, like, when somebody came to me, bye bye blackbird. Stardust is a good song. So, you know, they are really, really good songs in their own right. Not a typical Beatles album, yes, I will agree. If I was ever going to do a top 10 of Beatles solo albums, in all honesty, this probably would be in the top 10. So different from the stuff the Beatles were doing at the time, but in one way it wasn't, was it? He's, you know, he's just gone and done what he wanted to do, which was basically make an album of you know, songs for his family. But yeah, great all in all, sound quality, everything's brilliant on it. If I was going to give it 10 out of 10, I don't usually do 10 out of 10, but I would give this a strong 9 out of 10. Honestly, I would. Apart from it being, it seemed out of time, didn't it? When it seemed like a backward step for Ringo when he did release this. But in hindsight, I don't think it was. He did this, didn't he? Then that same year, he did a country and western album again. I think that is something that Ringo should think about doing. Buku's a Blue, wasn't it? And he went to America, didn't he? To Nashville, and had all the top, you know, country and western like musicians of the time play on that. Again, really, really good album. Very, very overlooked. But he had to do this and had to do that to then do his first like proper rock album, which was Ringo, you know, 1973. So yeah, if you've never listened to this and you don't live close to a second-hand record shop or something, just listen to a couple of the tracks on your streaming service. I would recommend Sentimental Journey, Whispering Grass, Bye Bye Blackbird, Love Is a Many Splendid Thing, and Have I Told You Lately That I Love You. They are the outstanding tracks on this. I think all the tracks are good, don't get me wrong. That's going to be it for today. I was actually waiting for a delivery because I've actually ordered a load of singles off Fleabay. And there's some really, really nice stuff in there. There's some Greek singles, there's a lot of German singles and some Italian singles. I mean, there is British singles in it as well. And it was actually supposed to be here for yesterday, but I've just checked and it says it's out for delivery. But, you know, and I think there's a few of them. I think that's going to be maybe 1 or 2, possibly even a 3 video one, because you know, I think there's 70 something singles in total in that. The Sergeant Pepper double LP that I was looking at went for stupid money. I did have my eye on a White Album box set, and that was second hand, and that went for stupid money. It went for more than what I could actually go out and buy it for if I wanted to. So that's going to be it for today. Here in the UK, in Derbyshire, it's been absolutely horrible today. It's been basically throwing it down since I got up at 8 o'clock. It is brightening up a little bit, but it is, you can tell that it is still going to be like dull and manic all day. For everybody that is subscribing, thank you very much. You know, we are getting a few more people now. Everybody that's liking my videos, again, thank you very much. If you want to leave a comment, or just like, you know, just want to press the thumbs up and things like that, please do. If you're thinking of subscribing and you haven't yet done, you know, please think about it, because like I say, it doesn't cost you out there anything. It is free, and anything for free nowadays is good, isn't it? I did have a little tidy up the other day, so I've like put some of my other box sets down here now. So we've got the George Harrison one here, and the Let It Be one here. That's the original Let It Be's. There's Beatles Rock and Roll one there. Beatles Historic Sessions, that might be worth doing a video on. 2 of the Beatles from Liverpool's one there. There's another Beatles from Liverpool one here. I don't know if you can see it, just there. This is a good thing about this. See, I can actually show you my room there. Very, very nice to have your own little music room, you know. Like I say, that's going to be it for today. As always, love your records, cherish your records, clean your records, but above all, play your records. This isn't the video I was going to do today, so I've had to like just come up here and do it all off the top of my head. So if I've made some mistakes, I'm very, very sorry. But like I say, I am here to entertain you as well as spread my knowledge to you. I don't take myself too seriously, you know. I do like to have a laugh, and I would rather be entertaining and people learn something from it than, you know, just saying this is a record, it was recorded in 19 whatever it is, so and so produced it. Because some people, I'm not, no disrespect to people, but I watch loads of videos, not just about records, about all sorts, cars, buildings, you know, cities, transport, everything. And some of the people do come across the, I'm not saying they don't know what they're on about, they do know what they're on about, but sometimes it's like being at school and listening to a school teacher, and that's the last thing I want this to be. You know, if you go away from watching one of my videos and you've learned something, that's brilliant, that is what I'm here for. But I don't want you to get bored and think, well, this video goes on for, I don't know, this one's going to be probably 20 minutes, and after 2 minutes think, oh, that's boring, that is. That's why I always try to do something slightly different. Yes, it's Beatle Dave, so like I've said before, you know, 99.9% of the time it is about the Beatles. You know, as the name says, Beatle Dave, you'd expect it to be about the Beatles, wouldn't you? But it's also about everything to do with record collecting and records in general. And we do sometimes do things on CDs, and we do also now and again do a special feature, which I might do one later on, where we look at an album by somebody that isn't anything to do with the Beatles. So whatever you're doing today, please stay safe. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I do appreciate it. You know, the viewing figures are actually going quite high now for some of the videos. Some of them aren't, but some of them are. You know, and the subscriptions are going up. Like I say, you know, this is just fun, a bit of fun for me. I've been collecting records for over 40 odd years, as most of you probably will know now. You know, it's nice just to show you. Some of them are rare, some of them aren't. Some of them are worth some money, some of them aren't, you know. But, you know, it's, if you're only just getting into records and you don't know, watching something like this, because I will, like I've said before, I tell you how it is. Some people go, don't go out and buy that, it's crap. Which, if that's their opinion, that's their opinion. To me, if you like the Beatles and you like Ringo, and you've got some of Ringo's records, this is essential to have this. I've always liked it, don't get me wrong, I've always liked it. I know that it has his critics, old Ringo does, but like I say, on this album suits his voice totally, 100%. So like I say, I would give that a strong 9.5 out of 10 for that. In one way, no, sod it, we'll give it 10 out of 10. Yeah, we'll give it a 10 out of 10. That, you know, that is how strong that I do like that. If you put it at the side of what the Beatles, you know, the other Beatles released in 1970, well, you've got John Lennon's Plastic-Ono Band. He got slated for that, didn't he? Saying it was like the Primal Scream album. You got Paul McCartney's McCartney. That got slated because they're just saying it was, you know, it was left off Beatles songs and, you know, leftover Beatles songs, and, you know, it sounded too much like the Beatles. George Harrison was the one, you know, he did release a masterpiece, didn't he, with All Things Must Pass, but even then he had his critics saying, well, most of these songs you wrote while he was with the Beatles and things like that, you know. So I think 1970 was a very, very hard time for all the Beatles because they'd all got to stand up for themselves, hadn't they? They weren't like the Beatles anymore. They you know, they always will be the Beatles, won't they? But they've got to, you know, they've got to stand by the products that they made for themselves from 1970 onwards, didn't they? So yeah, I think this is a very, very good first effort from Ringo. And the next one he did, the Bukuzu Blue album, even if you don't like country and western, which I don't, I hate country and western music. That, you know, I will admit it, I do hate country and western music, but I like that album. I do like that album because it is country and western, but like I say, because Ringo's on it and the way he sings the songs, it is a very, very pleasant record to listen to. In fact, I might do it. I will probably do a video on that LP at a later date. So that's going to be it for today. I'm sorry I've gone on. I thought it would be a 10-minute video. Ringo Starr Sentimental Journey, 10-minute video. It's not too bad, 22 minutes. So whatever you're doing out there, stay safe. You know, look after one another. You know, my missus is still on long-term sick, so you know, I've got to be looking after. I mean, I look after her anyway, and she looks after me. So till the next video, stay safe and be kind to one another. Love your records, and I will see you very, very soon. So from Beatle Dave here in the UK, it's bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, so long.